other major policy I want to bring, and I know I'm talking a lot, so I'll try and wrap it up now. The major policy that I want to bring is very, very important, and is to do with government expenditure vis-a-vis the private sector. I believe that one of the mistakes government tries to do is to do too much. Government tries to do everything. And unfortunately for government, it doesn't have the resources to do everything. So you have a situation where I will do this, I will do that, I will do that, and then it stops in the middle. The project doesn't get completed. The dormitory doesn't get completed. The road doesn't get completed because you are not paying contractors, and so on. And we have this problem that we are trying to do everything, but we don't have the capacity to do everything. And so I want government expenditure to be reduced, and let us re-push it towards the private sector. The private sector, our businessmen, our contractors, have the capacity to do a lot of the things that the government is trying to do. You go to Legon, go to Tech and other places. The hostels are built by the private sector. They are not built by government. The students rent it from the private sector. And so in those circumstances, you will not find uncompleted hostels by the private sector. They are in a hurry to finish it to make money. When I moved to do digitalization, digitalization has been so successful because it has been led by the private sector. If it was government, it would have been a problem. The Ghana card is the private sector that is financing it. It's not government. The digital address system is the private sector. That is financing it. Ghana.gov, private sector. Passport digitalization, private sector. DVLA, private sector. Because of the private sector has an incentive that the system should work. If the systems work, the private sector makes money. So for government, we try to do so much. You look at roads, and you can see many roads that are in all of your jurisdictions. You have roads that have not yet been completed. Very, very poor roads. And, many countries around the world, you even go not far, go to Cote d'Ivoire, and you see that they have much better roads than we do. And why do they have much better roads? Because their roads are constructed by the private sector and not government. Let us allow the private sector the room to construct the roads. Let's therefore bring in broad-based tolls, which will therefore give us the money to pay the private sector. Broad-based tolls, we should bring them in, and I think that we are going to have to do so. You look at government wanting to buy buses for schools. 700 schools. Now government is going to look for money for 700 buses. It finds it difficult to buy the buses. Why don't you just ask the private sector to supply every school with a bus? Then you will pay monthly a little bit until you pay it, or you can afford that. But we try to buy everything at the same time. But if we use the private sector, every school will get a bus. And so this is my proposition, and therefore I want to reduce government expenditure and realign it towards the private sector. If we do that, a lot of our uncompleted projects will be completed in no time, and therefore government will pay little by little and has therefore the capacity to pay. But if you want to take all the money that GET gets to pay just a few contractors, it will finish very quickly. But you can pay a lot of private sector people a little by little by little. They'll produce the dormitories, they'll produce the classrooms, they'll do all of that, and we will do. So that is a major area that I want Ghana to shift. From that focus on government trying to do everything and promise everything, let's let the private sector come in. When the private sector comes in, more jobs will be created. Togbe Mama, I also believe that we need constitutional changes. I think our constitution is a good one. It was done for political stability, and we have had political stability over the last 30 years. But I think now there may be need for certain changes that we should do to steer the constitution towards economic development. Professor Atta Mills, may God bless his soul, started the process of constitutional review. We should take it up and do broad consultation and bring it up. And I think in this process, it is also time to reduce the power of the presidency in our constitution. I think that the era for that strong president, I think it was a past era. I think now, as we move towards trying to get the constitution moving towards economic development, then we should reduce the power of the presidency, and we'll get a bit more deeper democracy in my view. I also believe that the political parties, our political parties, should agree to adhere to some broad contours of a national development plan. That the back and forth is too much in terms of policy. And if we could all, as political parties, after the election or before, we sit around and say, these are things we can agree on: education, health, environment, infrastructure. This should be the broad plan. No matter which party comes in, we will follow this plan until it is fully implemented. And then once we do that, you will see steady development rather than the stop-go development that we see. And we are all, as political parties, guilty of that. And we should move towards a national development plan to do this. As I bring my remarks to a close, I just want you to know that, as I said, I am here to serve. I want the opportunity to serve Ghana. I believe that I can serve this country, all parts of this country. I'll leave no part unattended to, and I will do a whole lot I'll do a whole lot. One more thing that I want to be clear about is the issue of LGBTQ. I will not accept it today. I will not accept it tomorrow. I will never accept LGBTQ in our country. There will be none. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. So it is not consistent with our traditional values. It's not consistent with our religion, and we will not accept it, no matter the consequences. No matter the consequences. I want you to know that if you make me president, I'll be very accountable to you. I will come back. We have done a lot. We haven't finished. I looked at the data this morning in terms of projects that we have finished in the Volta region, completed, and there are 548 that we have completed. 548. It's not small, but there are still many projects, including many roads, that we still have to do. And this is why I'm saying that we need to do those, but we need also a whole new way to get it done. I believe that the proposal I'm putting forward, we can finish these uncompleted projects relatively quickly, and that is where we should be going forward with this. We can finish it very quickly. So I believe that if you give me the opportunity to be president, I'll be more accountable to you. It means after 4 years, I'll come back and speak to Togbe and Mama again and say, I want another term. And you ask me, but when you came, you said you did this. Did you do it or did you not do it? Isn't it? I will have to account to you. And because I have to account to you, I'll work very hard in my first 4 years so that when I come back, I can say, I did this, I did that, I did that. And you say, thank you, my son, go and continue. And then I'll go and continue. So that is what I want to let you know, that if you give me the chance, I I will be accountable because I will be looking to do 8 years in government to be able to do what I want to do. I want to thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Ago Togbe Mama o. Happy Togbe President Aponuwa. Togbe Mama o Madeje Shenana Nami. Minister for Railways, Honorable Peter Mau. Agbo nyare la fi andoya. Nya o block pe ko yebana de. Afugbe enu ye, afugbe